is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 48, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on July 30th, 1975, in Dallas, Texas.
Omnipotent Yamaraja is as good as Lord Brahma, because although he is situated in his own abode, or being situated in everyone's heart like Paramatma, by his mind he observes the past activities of the living entity, and according to that, by the same mind, he understands how the living entity will act in his future life.
Manasaiva pure deva purva rupam vipassati anomimang sati apurvam manasa bhagavanaja. So, now the Jamadutas are describing about Yamaraj, who is as good as Brahma. He is entrusted with the majestical power to Yamaraj. Not all the living beings are taken to, neither the animals, only the human beings and those who are criminals or sinful. Not all of them. First of all, there are living entities, 8,400,000 forms or species, and so not all of them sinful and subjected to be brought for justice before Yamaraj. Just like magistrate, criminal magistrate, he is in every city the district magistrate. Not all the people are brought there, only the criminals. So, he is so powerful that through his mind he can see the past and the future, the kala, by mind. And because he is so powerful, he is addressed here as Bhagavan. I have several times explained, Bhagavan means the most powerful, full of opulences. So those who are in charge of departmental affairs within this universal kingdom, they are also sometimes addressed as Bhagavan. And Aja is Brahma. Aja means who does not take birth. So Brahma also did not take birth like ordinary human being. He sprouted like the lotus flower from the abdomen of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Therefore he is called Aja or Swayambhu. Swayambhu, personally born, not through the womb of the mother. Brahma was not born through the womb of mother. Therefore he is called Bhagavan Aja. So the mind of Yamaraj, he can see. In the previous verse, it is said, Vartamana Annayo Kala Gunabhi Gyapako Jatha. Within this material world, we are passing through many evolutionary processes and getting different types of body according to the guna, quality, modes of nature we are associating. So Yamaraj can see when a living being, criminal, sinful living being, is brought before him, he can understand through his mind. Just see that everyone's mind is not of the same category. There are difference of mind also, according to the position. That we have got experience. A high court judge's mind and ordinary person's mind are different. The judges can immediately understand what is the position. So this is also God gift. Different people have got different power of the mind. That is also through Krishna. Sarvasya chahang ridishanni vishtya matta smriti jnanam apohananj. So mind means whose memory is very sharp. He is called great-minded. So this greatness of mind and smallness of mind are different according to the dictation of the super soul. Matta smriti jnanam. One man can remember small things for many years. Another man forgets. Immediately he hears and immediately forgets. Why this difference of mental position? It is due to Krishna. Krishna helps one to memorize or to forget. Matta smriti jnanam apohananj. One has, just like in school, some student has got very short memory. Once heard from the teacher, he never forgets it. So these different stages are due to the association of different modes of material nature. So Yamaraj, when a person is brought before him, he can immediately understand that he was sinful in this way. Manasa puri deva. Or Yamaraj is sitting in his place, but he is seeing everyone what he is doing. Through the sun, through the moon, we have already discussed, through fire, through evening, through morning. There are so many witnesses, and all those information goes to him, and because he is almost as powerful as Bhagavan, he can remember. This is special power. Manasaiva pure deva purva rupam. Because after death, one is brought before Yamaraj. So, before his death, what he was doing sinfully, that is all recorded in the mind of Yamaraj. Manasaiva pure deva purva rupam vipasyati. Because they are so recorded, he can see vividly what this man was doing. Anumimamsate apudbam. Apudbam means the next body. Pudbam means the past body. And apudbam the next body. So he immediately decides what kind of body this criminal, this sinful man should be offered. Anumimamsate apudbam manasa. That is also by his mind. He is so powerful, therefore he has been addressed as Bhagavan. Anumimamsate, just like the judge, he is hearing the case, that is everyone. Anyone who is hearing something, so he makes a conclusion, this should be done like that. The judgment, there was one story. It is not story, it is fact, that two pleaders are talking about the activities of a criminal, and the judge was dozing. So his clerk said, "Sir, you are dozing, the two big lawyers, they are arguing, and what they will say." That means he won. The judge said, "I have already made my judgment, let them go on talking." So actually it is done. A very important judge, he, by hearing the preliminary points of the case, he makes his judgment. Yes. But because the two lawyers want to fight, because they are paid for that, so they go on fighting, but the judge, he has already concluded what judgment should be given. Similarly, Yamaraja is judge. He has got everything recorded in his mind of a sinful man's activities in the past. So immediately he decides that this soul should be given such and such body. So we are getting body in another place in the third canto, I think. It is described, karmana dvaivanetrena. We are acting in different ways. We are not independent. This is foolishness. Just like an outlaw, he is thinking that he is free from the jurisdiction of state laws and is working irresponsibly. But when he is arrested, then he has no independence. He has to undergo the punishment. Similarly, in this life, we may think very independent. Whatever we like, we can do. That is foolishness. You cannot do that. If you do it willfully, then you will be punished. That they do not know. Punished means by a different body. If a human being is punished to stand up like as a tree for 5,000 years, just imagine how much great punishment it is. That is possible. Just like in the Shastra it is stated that those who want to remain naked, they are punished in the next life to become tree. That you wanted to be naked, now you stand naked. The trees, they do not dress, neither they have the opportunity, nobody goes to dress them. So they stand naked for so many hundreds and thousands of years. These punishments they are waiting. Human being is not supposed to be naked. That is civilization. They must cover. But if one willfully does not cover, becomes as dull as the tree, then he gets the next body as tree. This is punishment. Otherwise, where from all these living entities are coming? They have no calculation. They are thinking that I shall remain in this human form of beautiful body and opulent. No, it's changing. Tatha dehantara prapti. You have to change your body according to the decision of superior authority. Daiva netrena. You should always remember it. Therefore, a human being should be very, very cautious and conscious. They should not do anything irresponsibly. And how to work with responsibility and how to work irresponsibly, therefore Shastra required. Shastra, these books, Vedic knowledge books, why they are? So that a human being may take advantage of it and he act responsibly or irresponsibly. If he works irresponsibly, then punishment is awaiting lower grade of life. Human being should be educated how to. Therefore these children are being educated from the very beginning of their life, how to become responsible man. This is the idea of our Gurukul. So these children should be taught. Yesterday Dayananda was talking with me that while living at Gurukul, they should be very nicely turned up. Nicha work. The children, they have no sense what is prestige. You can train them anyway. If you train them to work as a servant, they will work it. So, in Gurukul, they should live just to be trained up how to control the senses. Brahmachari. Brahmachari means life of celibacy. No sex. That is Brahmachari, strictly. Brahma charati iti Brahmachari. So ordinary brain or brain with cow dung, they cannot understand the spiritual science. Therefore, the brahmachari should be trained up how to control the senses. Then they will be able to understand. The brain will be sharp. Instead of discharging seminar, there are brahmacharis who takes the seminar to the brain. They are called urdhvarita. Urdhvarita means the brain become very, very fertile. Once heard from the spiritual master, teacher, he'll remember. He'll never forget. Therefore, formerly there was no written book. Shruti, simply by hearing, a brahmachari would be educated. Simply by hearing. There is no need of books, right? Therefore the Vedic literature is known as Shruti. It is to be learned by hearing. Even there is book, still one has to learn it by hearing from the realized soul. That's what is called Shruti. So this Shruti memorizing power should be increased if one observes strictly the life of celibacy. This is the science. Therefore brahmachari is taught strictly. The brahmachari is supposed to remain in Gurukul up to the 25th year. He is tender. Then if Guru finds him that he requires to be married, then he goes home and he is married. Otherwise the teaching is to remain brahmachari throughout the whole life. There is no need of entering because this human life is meant for God realization. It is not meant for sex enjoyment or sense gratification. It is simply meant for, here is an opportunity to understand one's constitutional position, that he is spirit soul, and Krishna as the Supreme Lord is also spirit soul. So the spirit soul, individual soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore it is his duty to remain with the whole. Just like a mechanical part, a screw in a typewriter machine. If the screw remains with the machine, then it has got value. And if the screw remains without the machine, it has no value. Who cares for a small screw? But when that screw is wanting in a machine, you go to purchase, they will charge $5. Why? When it is fixed up with the machine, it has got value. There are so many examples. That's the past of the fire. When the fire is burning, you'll find a small particle of spark. It is very beautiful. It is very beautiful because it is with the fire. And as soon as the spark falls down out of the fire, then it has no value. Nobody cares for that. It is finished. Similarly, so long we are with Krishna, being part and parcel of Krishna, we have got value. And as soon as we are out of Krishna touch, then we have no value. We should understand that. So how to keep oneself always with Krishna, that is the aim of human life. And if you do not do that, that is sinful, then you become punishable. That you are given the chance to understand yourself, Krishna, and your relationship with Krishna. You did not take this chance. Oh, he is punished, all right, you become again in the cycle of birth and death. So we should be very, very careful. Do not think that we are independent and we can do whatever nonsense I like. That is very risky. Do not think that foolishly. There is a regular, there is Yamaraja, because we are sons of Krishna, where Krishna wants that these my sons, rascals, are suffering in this material world, let them come back home. Therefore he comes personally. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata tada atmanam srijamaham. He deserves that. That these rascals, they are rotting in this material world, birth after birth, let them come back. Because he is more affectionate. And if he does not utilize this human form of life to take the advantage of going back to home, back to God, that is sinful. Then he is punished. So the conclusion is that everyone should take to this Krishna consciousness movement, otherwise he is awaiting punishment by Yamaraja. Thank you very much.